Welcome to our all-age talk, and today I want to tell you a story, and it's a story about a man who owned a hat shop. Let's just call him Alfonso. Well, Alfonso owned the biggest shop in town. He sold ladies' hats, hats for men, hats for children too. He sold hats for weddings, for holidays and even parties. People would come from far and wide just to buy a hat from Alfonso. In Alfonso's shop, he had a special cabinet. And in that cabinet, Alfonso kept what he called his most treasured hats. Now these were Alfonso's own hats that he'd collected over the years and which held special memories for him. Those hats were not for sale, but I can show you one or two of them here. This was Alfonso's Christmas hat. It was his favourite time of the year. Singing carols, eating mince pies, and all of those parties.
Merry Christmas, everyone!
The next hat that I'm going to show you technically isn't Alfonso's at all. It was his wife's hat that she wore on their wedding day. More of a headdress, really. It was possibly Alfonso's happiest day. Now this hat, this is a gondolier's hat. Gondoliers are men that sort of paddle these very narrow boats called gondolas through the canals in Venice, Italy. Alfonso spent many happy holidays in Italy under those warm Venetian skies, eating that delicious Italian ice cream.
Just one cornetto, give it to me. Oh, thank you.
So, the final hat that I want to show you was possibly Alfonso's most dearest of hats. When I say dearest, I mean not necessarily in money, but it was very close to his heart. It was his West Bromwich Albion football team hat. You see, Alfonso had been a West Bromwich Albion fan since he was, well, really very small. He was a true Baggies fan.
Go! Go!
Now, apart from hats, Alfonso had another passion. It was for pearls. Very small. But these are very precious. You see, a real pearl is formed when a piece of sand or grit gets stuck inside an oyster shell and it becomes an irritant. So the oyster coats it with layers and layers of a substance that makes it into a smooth pearl. I love pearls too. I've got pearl earrings. I've got a pearl necklace. Now, these are not real pearls. Real pearls are very expensive. These are man-made pearls, so they didn't cost as much. But I still think they're beautiful anyway. Alfonso loved pearls. And he also had another display cabinet in his shop where he kept pearls for sale. He sold single pearls, pearl necklaces, and even pearl bracelets. So you can imagine how excited he was when he discovered a pearl shop had opened in the same town. One night after he closed up his shop, he went looking for the pearl shop. He went up this road and down that road, and eventually he found it down a side street. Well, by the time he got there, the shop was closed. But Alfonso stood outside and gazed in through the window. There were pearls of different sizes, different colours. There were single pearls, there were pearl necklaces, bracelets and earrings. But then something caught his eye. It was the most amazing, beautiful pearl he had ever seen. It was known as the pearl of great price. Wow, that was an enormous pearl. You've probably heard the story of the enormous turnip, which was a ridiculously large turnip. Well, this was a ridiculously large pearl. And when Alfonso saw it, he knew he wanted it with all of his heart. There was just one problem, quite a big problem, and that is it cost a lot of money. Alfonso knew that if he wanted to own that pearl, he would have to sell his entire hat collection and his pearls. So he did. He sold his hat shop, not his treasured hats, of course. And then he sat down and counted up all his money. Oh no, he didn't have enough money. What was he going to do? Well, he knew there was only one thing he could do, and that was to sell his treasured hats. The first one he sold was his Christmas hat. So many fun memories. But he had lots of good memories from it. And he was sure he would have more Christmas memories too. Thank you. The second hat that he sold was his wife's bridal headdress. But then, as Alfonso always said, he could remember his wedding day as if it was yesterday. He also said if it was tomorrow, he might cancel it. Thank you. Finally, he sold his Venetian hat. Lots of memories of being in Italy. But one day, Alfonso hoped he'd be able to go again. Thank you. So once more, Alfonso sat down and counted up all of his money. Still, Alfonso didn't have enough money. There was one hat left to sell. It was his West Bromwich Albion hat.
No.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Now, Alfonso had enough money. He gathered it all together, he put it in a bag, and he ran down to that pearl shop. And he bought that pearl. Alfonso thought he must be the happiest man in the whole world.